First meeting one another in the museum while studying and copying works of the great masters in the Louvre, Carolus Durand's portrait of his friend Henri Fantin-Latour presents the artist at the age of 25. Indeed, the grand galleries of the Louvre were a place of congregation for avant-garde painters, where many would go to study, sent by their instructors to copy masterpieces hung in the museum, to talk and debate philosophies of art while surrounded by its treasures. As Paul Cézanne claimed, quote, "The Louvre is the book in which we learn to read," end quote. It is at the museum where Fantin-Latour met fellow artists Gustave Courbet, Edouard Manet, the American James McNeill Whistler, among others. And it is also at the Louvre where Fantin-Latour in 1869 first met Victoria Dubourg, a promising still-life painter, while both young artists found themselves suddenly together copying Correggio's canvas, The Mystic Marriage of St. Catherine. Everything about the encounter, the place, their motives and ambitions, the very work which they were studying is, in retrospect, meaningful and highly symbolic. The two would become acquaintances, then friends, sharing a wide circle that included Carolus Durand, Degas, Manet, Morisot, and many more. It was not long before their feelings matured, and Latour would propose to Dubourg. They would not marry until 1876. Both had familial obligations that would keep them from their vows, and yet the two were together, inseparable as lovers and as painters who shared a passion for art and their craft of still-life painting. As an engagement gift, a pledge of the promise of marriage, a lover's offering, a cadeau, Henri gave to Victoria a painting now referred to as the Betrothal Still Life, dated to 1869, now located in the Musée de Grenoble. Their lives, their hopes and dreams as artists, their future together as partners were expressed perfectly in a picture that, quoting from the French symbolist poet Paul Verlaine, is, quote, "a romance sans parole, a song without words, a romance without words," centered around a monumental arrangement of freshly cut spring flowers set within a flaring bud-shaped porcelain vase, which is itself decorated with flowers. We see sweet, ripe fruit, a cut white camellia, and a glass of red wine. Foregrounded, centered, balanced, and yet playful and varying, the composition is at once a masterful homage to the great still-life painters of the 17th and 18th centuries, a tribute to shared intellectual sensibilities and tastes, and is replete with signs and symbols alluding to their personal, private feelings of love and friendship. Depicting spring flowers, the arrangement is expressive of a new beginning for the couple, a rebirth and promise of positive change. The lilies and daffodils are widely recognized in the language of flowers, an ancient mode of symbolic communication, a language which both Victoria and Henri were aware and conversant, as representative of joy, happiness, and hope. The beautiful white camellia is yet an additional reference to the painter's admiration of Victoria, a symbol of love and affection. So too the fruits, cherries and strawberries, the food of paradise, motifs in the painting relating love, purity, and fertility. Cherries are the fruit of the Virgin Mary, an allusion to Correggio's painting and how they first came to meet. The heart-shaped strawberries are often associated with the passion of lovers. The glass of red wine also carries symbolic meaning. It is a sign of transformation, signaling what their lives would become once married. In secular culture, an emblem of friendship and abundance. Once married, they shared a studio space on the Rue des Beaux-Arts in Paris, and together sourced fresh blooms to paint from the family estate in Beuray, Normandy. Though Dubourg and Fantin-Latour developed a similar style from working side by side, Dubourg signed the many pictures she displayed at the annual Paris Salon and other international art exhibitions with her maiden name, perhaps in an effort to hold on to a discrete artistic identity. Yet Dubourg fastidiously documented the art of Fantin-Latour in a catalogue raisonné published in 1918, 7 years after the artist's death, that included over 800 pictures of flowers. Victoria gave numerous works to the museum in Grenoble, the birthplace of her husband. It is pleasant to imagine how art brings together these two lovers in the Cathedral of the Louvre at this volatile moment in French art and letters, and unites them in history, in memory, for eternity, making known for the body of humanity our longing spiritual nature. As Verlaine has written in his poem Romance sans parole, quote, "Here are the fruits, flowers, leaves and branches, and here is my heart which beats only for you."